Some people walk into a room and instantly relax. You walk into the same room, and within seconds, something feels off. Not because you're anxious, because you notice what everyone else misses. You notice the pause before someone answers, the smile that arrives a little too late, the tiny change in someone's voice that nobody else even hears. People often call this overthinking, but sometimes it isn't your thoughts that are loud, it's your awareness. A simple message can stay in your mind for hours, not because of the words, because you're trying to understand the emotion hiding behind them. While everyone else falls asleep, your brain keeps replaying conversations, not searching for drama, searching for truth. You don't just hear what people say, you notice what they avoid saying. Sometimes silence tells you more than words ever could. And that's where life becomes confusing. Because once you start seeing people's hidden emotions, you can never unsee them. But here's the strange part. This gift slowly begins turning against you. Your mind starts connecting every detail, every facial expression, every delayed reply, every tiny inconsistency. Soon, your brain never really switches off. You begin questioning yourself. Am I imagining this? Or am I actually seeing something everyone else ignores? That uncertainty becomes exhausting. Here's the irony. The more aware you become, the harder it becomes to feel peaceful. Because awareness without understanding doesn't feel like wisdom, it feels like carrying 1,000 unfinished puzzles. You begin noticing people's emotions they haven't admitted to themselves. Sometimes they say they're fine, while every small detail quietly says otherwise. And somehow, you notice both. The problem is, you don't just observe other people's emotions, you carry them. Without realizing it, your nervous system starts holding feelings that were never yours to keep. That's why one phone call can completely change your mood. One strange sentence, one unusual pause, and suddenly your mind begins building an entire story. You can be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone, not because nobody loves you, because very few people experience the world at the depth you do. Here's what psychology calls this. High awareness often comes with hypervigilance. Your brain becomes so good at detecting possible danger that it never fully relaxes. But here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They believe becoming more aware will finally bring them peace. The opposite is usually true. Awareness is a gift. Hypervigilance is survival. They look almost identical, but they come from completely different places. That's why people often tell you you're thinking too much. But thinking isn't always the problem. Sometimes your nervous system simply forgot what safety feels like. Real growth begins the moment you stop analyzing every person and start asking a different question. Is this mine to carry? That one question changes everything. Not every mood belongs to you. Not every silence needs decoding. Not every expression requires an explanation. Some mysteries are healthier when left alone. The wisest people aren't the ones who notice everything. They're the ones who know what deserves their attention and what deserves their peace. This is where many highly aware people get confused. They mistake anxiety for intuition because both whisper something isn't right. But they're not the same voice. Anxiety is loud. It keeps asking, what if something goes wrong? Intuition is surprisingly quiet. It simply knows. An anxious mind wants endless evidence. Intuition doesn't. It often arrives as a calm feeling long before your thoughts catch up. When you've spent years protecting yourself, your brain starts expecting storms, even on sunny days. That's not wisdom. That's exhaustion wearing the mask of awareness. Real awareness doesn't make you fearful, it makes you present. Instead of searching every face for danger, you begin trusting your own inner calm. You stop trying to understand everyone because you finally understand something more important. Not every mystery needs solving. Not every person needs decoding. Ironically, the more peaceful you become, the sharper your awareness actually gets, because you're no longer distracted by constant fear. You finally notice what truly matters. You still see people's pain, you still notice hidden emotions, but now you can care without carrying them. That changes everything. Awareness becomes a gift when it serves your life, not when it controls it. The goal was never to notice more. The goal was to suffer less. Remember the room at the beginning? Nothing about that room changed. The people didn't change. The conversations didn't change. You did. You learned that true awareness isn't seeing every hidden emotion. It's knowing which ones deserve your attention and which ones deserve your peace. If this video resonated with you, subscribe to Quiet Alignment for more psychology and self-growth videos that help you understand yourself a little better. Sometimes the greatest clarity comes not from seeing more, but from finally seeing yourself.